If you're wondering what the highest frame rate perceived by the human eye, you've come to the right place. Let's get started. The highest frame rate that can be perceived by the human eye is not a fixed number and can vary from person to person. However, studies have shown that the average human eye can generally perceive motion and changes in visual stimuli up to approximately 200 to 300 frames per second. The perception of motion and smoothness is influenced by factors such as the individual's visual acuity, lighting conditions, the speed of the moving object, and the content being viewed. Higher frame rates can result in smoother motion and reduced motion blur, especially during fast-paced action sequences or rapid camera movements. It's worth noting that the perception of frame rate is also influenced by the display technology being used. Traditional displays, such as standard televisions or monitors, often have a refresh rate of 60 Hz or 120 Hz, which means they can display up to 60 or 120 frames per second, respectively. Viewing content with a frame rate higher than the display's refresh rate may not result in noticeable improvements in perceived motion. In recent years, advancements in display technology, such as gaming monitors or virtual reality headsets, have introduced higher refresh rates, e.g., 144 Hz, 240 Hz, that can display more frames per second. These higher refresh rates can enhance the visual experience for content that is rendered at higher frame rates. Individual variations. The ability to perceive high frame rates can vary from person to person. Some individuals may have a higher sensitivity to motion and notice differences at higher frame rates, while others may not perceive significant improvements beyond a certain threshold. Ultimately, the highest frame rate perceived by the human eye is a subjective and individual experience. While some individuals may be able to perceive differences at higher frame rates, others may not notice significant improvements beyond a certain threshold. Additionally, the content being viewed, the display technology, and personal factors play a role in the overall perception of motion and smoothness. In summary, while the human eye can generally perceive motion and changes in visual stimuli up to approximately 200 to 300 frames per second, individual variations, diminishing returns, content, and display technology all play a role in the overall perception of frame rates. The highest frame rate perceived by an individual depends on various factors and may differ from person to person. If you found this video interesting, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and let us know if we missed anything in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future.